Hi, hotties. Welcome back to the Real House Guest of North Hollywood. I'm your host, Carson Frey. So glad you're here. I'm glad to be here if you're making fun of my princess dress. Sometimes you just have a pretty pink dress and have nowhere to wear it. So, like, your own podcast. It's a good excuse, right? And I've, worn, I think last or 2 weeks ago, I wore, sweats and pimple patches. So, why not look pretty? I'm feeling like a pretty princess. So, this is a different episode because there's no recaps. I'm sorry. I will just say out of my heart, I did watch Dubai and Orange County, and they were good episodes. Amazing. Orange County, I liked more than Dubai, but both good episodes. But I am releasing some YouTube videos this week. So after you listen to this podcast, just go on our YouTube page and just see if there's anything out there that's not a podcast episode because you will only find it on YouTube. But guys, I couldn't not release a podcast because there's so much Bravo news we have to talk about. Okay. So, a for lease sign was spotted at Sutton's store. Now, Sutton did respond to it and she indicated there's going to be a new location. I haven't been to the Sutton store and now I feel I'm a bad boots on the ground journalist because I don't live that far and I should go. But we'll see. Hopefully it'll reopen and we can go see. Sutton's another housewife. I feel like I would be okay approaching in public. I feel like if I saw Garcelle or Kyle Richards, I'd be like, cannot approach, not approach. But Sutton, I could be like, hey girl. Tom Schwartz is in the Hamptons. What does it mean? Vanderpump isn't filming. He's been seen with Kyle. He's been seen with Carl. Is he going to be on Summer House this season? Is he doing a guest? I feel like he's doing a guest, which I vibe with. I like Tom Schwartz in the Summer House environment. I kind of think it would be fun if they did a West Coast Summer House with some of the Vanderpump people since they're clearly not actual friends, but did a month in Malibu instead of the Hamptons. I don't know. Bravo, NBC, take my ideas. I'm full of them. So Dubai filmed their reunion. Saba, who's the friend of on Dubai this season, via press statement, ended her friendship with Sarah. She put out a press statement about it. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has finished filming. So I've heard that will either come out end of the year, more in the winter. Stassi has officially joined Vanderpump Villa. Even more exciting, she's having her own show, Stassi says. And she said on her podcast, which guys, I listen to every single Bravo Celebrity podcast, most of them awful. Stassi's really good. And if you do like her regular podcast, I subscribe to her Patreon. I am not scared to say I pay whatever amount a month to go to little Hartford and Messer, and I love hearing her and Bo's podcast. But she said she's been they came up with the show 2 years ago. All the producers and everything are from Vanderpump Rules, so I'm really excited. Is Hulu the new Bravo? The Roni trailer dropped. Uba and Bryn are fighting in the trailer. I think I'm Team Bryn. Because when Bryn was like, oh, you're not Giselle, you're not Naomi, you model for Dress Barn. I was like, she's a housewife, honey. I'm just in a silly, goofy mood today, you guys. But also Rebecca Minkoff, she's the one that's a Scientologist, and it was addressed in the trailer. I'm looking forward to this and also a little scared. We've never had a Scientologist housewife. I don't know what this means. Julia and Martina from Real Housewives of Miami adopted 2 baby boys. I'm so excited for them. I love Julia. I'm watching Miami right now and watching Martina go through her cancer and just it's easier to watch it now knowing now I'm excited to watch more because I know in the back of my head they got their children. They got their 2 boys, and seeing how Julia would talk about the child she lost, her son that died, and it just gives me a lot of joy. She now has these two boys. Like, I could cry, and I don't even know these people. It just really, really, like, one reason I started this podcast is like a lot of the stuff we're talking about, it's like bad news. And a lot of people in this like fandom can be total dicks and assholes. And I was like, I wanted a corner that was like loving and happy. So, like, I'm always going to share that shit, even if, yeah, it gives me a lot of joy and emotion. Traders was renewed for 2 more seasons. So excited. I love Traders. Amanda Batula, her swim line, it's coming out, and I'm so excited because I'm a big booby girl too, and Amanda has the best swimsuits, and anything she says, like, is supportive. Amanda, I believe you. I hope it comes out for kind of a weird time, though, to release, like, a swim line, like, at the end of the summer, but I'll have it for next year. The Love Island reunion was filmed, and it comes out, I mean, today, like, when I'm filming this, so whenever y'all are watching this, it's out, so we'll talk about it. Talk about it soon. I'm just, like, so happy to see Ariana go from, like, being in a reunion chair to, like, hosting a reunion. Like, that's fucking cool. So Lala and Sheena have been seen filming The Valley. They're confirmed. They're confirmed. I've heard Sheena's filming more than Lala because Lala's like about to pop, but it's pretty much because Jax is in rehab and so he's not filming. And I heard essentially like Jax places on the show is very unknown right now, and there's a good chance he won't be on season 2, which is it is what it is, but it's kind of funny that a man told everyone it was his show and he created it, and now he's not. So whose show is it? um, yeah, I don't know. Like, did they really need them? Aren't there other people in their friend group? Like, bring in Max Boyens. I see him. He's the bartender at Schwartz and Sandy's. He was on season 8 of Vanderpump. Bring him onto the Valley. Bring just like other people that aren't Sheena and Lala. I don't know. And last thing is a new Bravo show called Snowbirds is filming. Is it a housewife show? Is it like a geriatric house? Not geriatric, but like even older than Housewives fighting. I would love that. Anyways, we have a new segment. I'm so excited to introduce into the podcast. You guys hear me reference producer Ezra all the time, but you don't see his face enough. And I want you to see his face because I like his face. And I like Ezra because he's a very reasonable guy. And so this new segment is called Is It Reasonable?
Hi, everybody. It's me, Ezra. Good to see you guys again. Welcome to this new segment called Is It Reasonable with me, Ezra. Today, we're going to be talking about Orange County and more specifically, is it reasonable the kind of vitriol that Shannon is receiving for her, previous relationship and the money involved? I definitely don't think it's reasonable that Shannon is being told by other people, what she is essentially, calling her an alcoholic or what her problems are. It's fine to tell people, like, hey, it makes me uncomfortable when you behave this way after you drink, or when you drink it feels like these things happen and those things affect me this way emotionally. That's fine. Express what you're going through, but you don't tell people who they are, what they're dealing with, what they should do, anything like that, right? You can offer support. You can even just begin by asking, like, hey, do you feel I want to share something with you. I don't want to be insensitive. I don't want to be rude, but it deals with, your drinking and how it affects me. I know we're talking about how it affects me, not specifically how it affects you, but, this is important to me and I want to be able to share this with you because you're my friend. You can come at it that way, maybe. Maybe rephrase it, even better than that, but that's like a starting point as opposed to, shouting and screaming and calling people names and pulling out other people's financial information to kind of have a gotcha moment or something. Like, it feels like bullying behavior personally to me. So, you know, is what Shannon receiving reasonable? I would say no, not reasonable at all. If anything, it's bullying. Also, another question: is it reasonable how Alexis is treating Shannon, getting tag teaming Shannon with Tamra? Uh, definitely not reasonable. I know I'm jumping to the answer before explaining it, but let me explain why. You don't in a new relationship, you don't come after other people that your partner at the moment has been in a relationship with unless they're doing something in that moment in time that's attacking your partner. You don't come out of the blue out of nowhere into another person's friend group and start pulling out financial information that isn't yours to begin with. It's your partner's and their previous partners, and start calling people names, start telling them, what they should do, what's wrong with them, all that stuff, and then expecting to potentially have a relationship with this person. It seems like complete cognitive dissonance to me. Like your supposed values, the things that you supposedly stand for, or want, like friendship, and your actual behavior being that of bullying, of chastising, of name calling, of all these things. They're not. These two things are not in concert. They're completely, on different wavelengths, and you think that somehow with the support of a new friend group that you don't have just yet, that it'll just legitimize you all of a sudden. Like this isn't you're not in court. You're not on some like playground in the sixth grade. You're an adult. You're a grown adult. Treat other people like adults. Treat people the way you want to be treated, and maybe just maybe, if it's not completely lost at this point, you can potentially have some kind of friendship, or at least the foundation of some kind of common ground to maybe approach something like a friendship. But at the moment, you're not being very reasonable. You're not being very respectful. You're not being very demure. You're being kind of a dick. So, you know, reconsider your choices. All is not lost. Just reconsider. Well, that's it for today's episode. Thank you for joining Carson and I today. Very happy to be here. Hopefully, more segments in the future to come. You can catch us on Spotify. Please rate us on Spotify. You can catch us on YouTube. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. Also on Instagram, and all other platforms where you can listen and watch us. Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.